It was a big game.
Obi ye why ni na my feedback kakra. My feedback kakra na intimi and start jumedi. Me so bet me join the lab on Facebook. Insha 104.5. Insha 104.5 yeah the discussions no share at the amamo from the UEFA Nations League. And any padudo na say and a game na basono. Ano na best set it tone no properly. Na adiama Ballon d'Or nkomo no and then na set it tone no. Adentin na set it tone and then Spain and France na ebo. Spain for no kuta Yamal and France for no sukura ay Ousmane Dembele. Eti go fiem say na ye be hu do obeje ayina na anya na.
Oh, entimi nye no.
Entimi nye no gwa.
And they will play a major role.
Asa Yamal say na be kire.
I think the journalist will be asking a question about say, is this going to not say na be kire you be born? I think say it will play a major role.
Okay.
It will play a major
role.
But
then started from the Portugal here.
In terms of all of those ones. You see? And now Portugal aqua share Germany in Munich for the very first time, like Andy Carr, over 20 years. And Adiana Portugal for have not seen in a long time. In fact, Portugal beating Germany in itself was a big deal. And also going to beat them at one stadium in Munich was an even bigger deal for Team American FC Portugal. Team American Portugal, my national team, And it was a big one. To be very honest, you started game, now Germans now dominating play. Very, very good style of play. And so Bernardo Silva, the game was more about intensity on and off the ball. Portugal finally had their intensity. Germany finally came with an intensity. Rich, is this the Jonathan Tanana Hansi Flick's open of Barcelona? It could be more, Richard.
And also be an
yeah, because the thing is that who say at Bayern for Leverkusen, Xabi Alonso used Jonathan Ta as the central player as part of the back three. And he can have several times say the back three and maxi the deficiencies of a center back that you usually see in a back four. Because you have 3 players in the central area, so zones number covering Susakakra. Again, in terms of building up, you don't do a lot of work. Rich, regardless of what Portugal for 1 year in the second half, I think that Germany for may say 3 key players.
Why?
I think that they missed a branch friend Nico Schlotterbeck as a center back in terms of building up from a channel. They missed also the job of a branch friend Antonio Rudiger, who was absent on the team. In fact, and Jerome Boateng I got to Instagram say Antonio Rudiger knew one Germany to be more from the right hand side and those 2 center backs were really missed by Germany for now. And also, Rich, the over-reliance of Julian Nagelsmann, I was saying about the ball on the 2 inside number 10s in our branch friend Florian Wirtz and our branch friend Jamal Musiala was telling yesterday. You could tell, say Germany's most dangerous player was Florian Wirtz, who went on to score the goal in the opening embers of the game. And then they were missing what a branch Jamal Musiala could have given them in the game. It's in the first half. Germany, good intensity. I liked what Abrante's friend Alexander Pavlovich did on and off the ball as a deep line playmaker. Leon Goretzka next to him was an experience with it. Abrante's friend Florian Wirtz was picking on the ball in dangerous areas. Mitisena Nkofu Mebreka said, Argentina Roberto Martinez in such a big game. Ebebo Abrante's friend Joao Neves from right back instead of playing in his natural position. Rich, Portugal's most dangerous times came from that style of play. I don't mean in complex tactical at the end of the central midfielder now born right back on and conform pay. But Rich, so he game Libya. All of the times a Portugal team break here. Germany be pressure aggressive 1v1 also. Then the late rounds of a branch friend João Neves from right back into the central areas consistently got Portugal in behind. There was one boy called Pedro Neto one of them. Or square back Emma Brantier friend Cristiano Ronaldo ball first time shot and a Brantier friend Mark Andre ter Stegen and Chino. There was another one. João Pedro, a Brantier friend Pedro Neto could not do enough with Sabor and consistently could tell say that's tactic. Although maybe I wasn't perfect for the Portuguese team, but it gave Portugal some inroads in how they wanted to play because not Germany for never pressing. Which go now. Germany sharing the first half. No, it was an offside goal.
Yeah, because I'm as a referee, no.
Cristiano Ronaldo goal no, so then see offside.
Ronaldo there, no.
Yeah, that's the offside, and I'll show it to you. Sabowi, defender Nipa no babe Gina, Abranche from Luis Diaz in chain, and prevented. He was in an offside position, and he clearly impeded Luis Diaz from going towards the ball, and that means that he obstructed and then affected play. It was clearly offside. But some voice audio now, Bernardo Silva, Ekasa and Andy Malbon. Bernardo Silva said it there.
I said no answer.
Referee nim rules.
It
was yesterday. VAR was shambolic. No offside. Clear offside. Internet more was on J board. And Okoshe VAR crowd. Okoshe still went on
because Ronaldo there is checking.
I am sure that referee no on-field decision. Okoshe VAR no. They wanted to check if it was a foul. Into a corner or no one is saying a foul. No. They didn't do the offside check, but the player was in an offside position by the 48th minute. Now a branch friend of Fran Verta over England announcing himself in Munich Stadium and has gotten the very first goal over there, and Germany thought they were going through. Rich, you said it. Second half substitution of bringing in a normal fullback in a branch friend in Nelson Semedo. Because again, Germany for now started match, with a natural winger from South side. Leroy Zani was on this side, Fran Vert was coming inside. So they wanted to do like that. But in the second half, when Serge Gnabry moved, we knew that they were going to come on and Portugal wanted to dominate the game. They brought on Abranche friend Nelson Semedo in that area. Then of course, had Abranche friend Nuno Mendes to go forward. And so shares our born Portugal born now Bruno Fernandes could get Obia or Becon constantly no other boss not to Mamano. And then of course the quality of our branch friend of Francesco Conceição. Rich, what a story. The last time a Portugal shared Germany, no papa shared hat-trick. And Abia said, oh now say ni papa nebi Obia unu obomuda, ni papa a known person. In fact, the immediate past AC Milan for coach ni papa. Sergio Conceição. Coach in answer or get trophy and sebe cigarette ebonanoma or sour dressing room. That is Sergio Conceição. He is the one that scored hat trick for Portugal to beat him. And the story at Debia can say from football down for Portugal to need a goal in Munich, for them to go to the final of the UEFA Nations League. Naneba Ena say Ushe bench Horma Yebe friend Amanaba. Then look at the goal that a branch friend of Francesco Conceição. This was when Sergio Conceição 25 years ago SS hat trick and then Nana Joneba Francesco Conceição ever said the equalizer for team your friend of Portugal Emmanuel year 1-1 honor. Rich, it was such a good time. Very my name said I'm going for car by has a be a capo very dominating with Tia no way here or Jimbo want to then the way of this speed but with little back left it's me ball on a share. It was a beautiful goal for team friend of Portugal. At 1-1 there was a lot of momentum from team friend of Portugal. Rich, this is the Cristiano Ronaldo goal. And say Jason more social media side no ebe zoom in a minor. Cristiano Ronaldo is ahead of the ball. At this point in time, the last line is the ball. Last line is your ball. And it is clear Cristiano Ronaldo was ahead of the ball. And all of those two decisions, I don't know why VAR didn't really take their time in checking. They are very, very questionable decisions. But then no one cares. And Cristiano Ronaldo actually the 937th goal as a player in a professional career. Like Andy is saying, Rich, meaning Pepe said Ronaldo actually show you see and say obese 1,000 goals on a professional career. 1,000 goals on a professional career. That's what Cristiano Ronaldo will be able to do. Rich, and now you could tell that Cristiano Ronaldo was excited and watched 7 goals in last 8 matches for team friend in Portugal. Very, very good game. And now only a branch friend Nuno Mendes.
Nuno Mendes no akra this on bubble.
Very, very good player. Very, very, very good player. Yeah.
Anybody
John Neves. Yeah. Very, very good player.
Charlie Pierre for no place.
Very, very good player now. And a Bob Bonnet. Me Paul John Neves was Nuno Mendes was Rich. no matter where he receives the ball, no person you obey.
Very calm.
Yeah, like no person you obey.
Go ni share obetwon pass the ball no pass it.
Very very important.
And they also turn the ball to Ronaldo no.
And
the guy is solid.
And now for Portugal, for Portugal for now book the date with whoever wins tonight. You this our game no come up.
Sure.
But let's go here. Rich. And now me ba catch you. One Garcia beba. Which you move time beba. Barca are 10 million short in terms of finances of 1:1 rules now La Liga. If they bring in a branch friend Juan Garcia, in the end, fund says so be in free Barca. Se Testegen and free answer Barca the a branch friend Juan Garcia bar. Barca will not be able to register him given the current conditions. That is why I keep on saying no matter what, Testegen will not stay at Barcelona if truly a branch friend Juan Garcia will come. We know say the agreement is done. Juan Garcia is going to be the next Barcelona for goalkeeper. Ukoni Chrome Espanyol, where he comes from, Ancasana. Espanyol through and through for now. Omunise Barca local rivalries like Ken Fais and Kotokono. Almost started almost threatening, but that will not change anything. Abrante friend Juan Garcia is going to be the next goalkeeper for Tima, your friend of FC Barcelona. But Rich, last night, didn't Marc-Andre ter Stegen show everybody say, hold on a minute, maybe I'm in science.
On the last minute,
yeah, saves no.
Yeah, they're mad. Sabono, second one, I don't know what you say.
Double save, I didn't understand.
Like, where then I keep activity boy? Like,
to be very honest, and Rabbi gave me a say, maybe Marc-Andre ter Stegen is reminding everybody that, hold on a minute, maybe you people are writing me off too early. I am good enough to still be Barcelona goalkeeper. But Rich, from yesterday, when I speak to a lot of Barca fans, I'm going to catch you say, oh, time and I see here, ter Stegen, to understand with Claudio Bravo. He decided to tell the club to choose between him and Claudio Bravo. In the end, if the club would have to make a choice, and that will have to happen. Rich, what it means is that whatever happens, ter Stegen would have to go. Whether Saudi Arabia... Exactly. Yeah, I see next year he's going to be at Barcelona. There's going to be a lot of trouble because Rich, because financially, Barca can't keep Juan Garcia and keep ter Stegen and then keep Wojciech. And it's possible. It means I say all important players. Now we ter Stegen salary in few books so. Then you can bring in a branch friend Juan Garcia. Else you'll not be able to do it. Then the story of a branch your friend Inaki Peña, who most likely will go. It's Rich. We'll see what happens with Barcelona, but sad news for Barca, eh? And now Barca for Deco were in England. Which I didn't think South American clubs now. Omupe Barca and Madrid, sir.
Well, be able to successful.
No, I
think say Real Madrid and Barcelona now come.
Yeah, almost a history of the success in that area.
As on players they do all. They are not call. Maybe I know.
Because Rich, it looks as if one shady year. Luis Diaz doesn't even mind running down his contract at Liverpool, and Liverpool don't even care to go to Barcelona next season. So many this time. Because they know about to call Liverpool club on them. And they met with Michael Edwards more. Said they want to get a branch friend Luis Diaz into a team. Normally Luis Diaz didn't come out. Rich only. For me, the trigger of this thing was Abra Luis Diaz's girlfriend echo Instagram. Echo show a cryptic message of a sort that all catch Liverpool for bye. So all down my scene. My man, a boyfriend and a man and a man. It has been a good one. But it looks as if they have to move on from team friend in Liverpool. Rich and Rabasa for the coin. And this morning, David Austin is reporting, say, Liverpool for not catch a bus, I said, Luis Diaz is not for sale. I'm not catching any plane. Someone told Luis Diaz. And you see, it's a tricky position that Liverpool are in. Luis Diaz contracts now call Liverpool, and so, sir, you can bring it to months. It's our part of the contract, they do January. Why should they are opening doors for people like Barca to come in and get him for free? And what we are hearing is that Liverpool for not catch a Barca for say, even if it takes them to keep the ball and for him to go for free like Trent Alexander-Arnold to Madrid on Baye, unless Barca for the offer by Modru. Which
Barca Zuni.
No offer me Konibi. Only Capre. And Rich say Liverpool ball lose Diaz boy. And yet 40 million. And then the Man United pay for Marcus Rashford. It is 60 75, aqua 80, you have to pay for Luis Diaz. And that is where the story is right now with our branch friend Luis Diaz to team friend FC Barcelona. Barca love him. Rich. Nieti de compare Luis Diaz assemblies because or a player you can describe him as utility in the front line. The last and none here kind of wants him. Say onye the regular winger onye obechichi bebre no debi. Onyabona he comes directly at you and wants to get a goal. The end product and the short ending actions here are very important for him. Again, Luis Diaz don't just play on the left wing. He's a comfortable player to play as a center forward. So in times where maybe Robert Lewandowski, Epra, Sonia Fetino, you can fall on him to do the job for you. Or any one of them. Now you don't have to fall on too many young La Masia boys in game. Experienced Luis Diaz who can do the job. Which I think say the story of the South American players. I asked it because of this boy. It wasn't even because of Luis Diaz. I know that there are a lot of examples. But boy, we see, and maybe sounds I didn't see South America boys no. I'm play Madrid any Barcelona sha. See, boy when I did the story about your friend of Franco Mastantuono. In Argentina right now, Omujiri say the biggest name in football is a prospect Accra. Obama Bono Nimbo. But my boss say 8. I'm put the Odo come I'm kind of 5. Obi about 6. I'm kind of 5. As a deep line playmaker no. Obetinga Bobby, Obetinga Bo 8, Obama goes Nibi, and also personality and charisma all around him that fits Real Madrid. It's him. It was in January, and a Man United, Arsenal, Paris Saint-Germain, Chelsea send the scouts to go and watch him. Almost send the scouts to Mokosha Manchester friend Franco Mastantuono. No. Chelsea mentioned say I said a lot of players in that position, and that they don't want to bring him in because Omujini Somotona. They will block the development of some other players, so Chelsea pulled out. Arsenal could not go in and sell a proper project to the young boy called Franco Mastantuono. Rich, Ebeka Paris Saint-Germain, and Madrid. Paris Saint-Germain didn't come on, Rich. Throughout last week, Paris Saint-Germain were leading the race. And now you must see. Rich, Huni Khalifat, Madrid, the 4 lead sporting director and a scout. And now they flew to Buenos Aires in Argentina. And I'm called River Plate Club on them to have a discussion with Franco Mastantuono. Rich, apparently, Paris Saint-Germain for the body that down in the boy told them plain said he will only go to Paris Saint-Germain if Madrid for Manfred. And then now Uri Khalifat was there. Everything is clear. Now, like Andy told you, the only roadblock and he said, Cicero, Franco had given his word to River Plate on the Club World Cup. Madrid also need made for this for the Club World Cup. Because like I told you, almost friend Nico Pazaba, they want to add Franco Mastantuono. Yes, there is going to be Luka Modric money and they were on, but they want more quality and that is why still boy no wants to go. Which I think that ABR, there is some historical antithesis of colonization in Sanya man. And you know, South Americans no Spain teams no.
And Shadow Scottish. I'll say I think it's because of language barrier.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
Kasano.
Colonization.
Yeah.
Because yeah. I think that the Spaniards played a role in colonization in that area. And then that is why they wanted to go in there. And because culture no a little bit similar on my language, they all speak Spanish, and it's very okay for them to live there. And even away from that, I believe that it is hinged in colonization.
Okay.
And it's not boy, not per corner. Because Rich, only South America need didn't come and Barca Madrid. You can't sell England to them. You can sometimes they even love Italy because especially Argentines.
We no crowd.
Yeah.
Player Ben when you Real Madrid and Barcelona.
Well,
they are the Giants.
Yeah.
Player be a person successful be I just saw the whole confront from.
Yeah.
Okay, the Kylian Mbappe Dientina with Ediano or France, you didn't saw Paris Saint-Germain now. I just same person come Madrid. I didn't because Ebi Ofi says or budget Ballon d'Or no near there. So when your name no famous in Real Madrid. So what I say, and the bit your mouse and your man. Maybe apart from language, Omufu say hono is good for them no. I think the team Barcelona, Real Madrid, you are in football no. And also can be.
Yeah.
You are Real Madrid the power.
Yeah.
Player Ben Real Madrid no more.
Yeah.
Player Ben and Barcelona fans say Bubia. Awaka zongo.
Yeah.
I mean, player be any over Bunti having a beer.
I think the football legacy and visibility. Okoroma, Madrid, and Barcelona were a lot of the language and culture also very important. As we've mentioned over the past, and of course, colonization, historical role models. Because most of the big names, are of South America in the past, always played for Madrid. Any team, your friend or SC Barcelona. It looks as if Madrid will get their man in our branch, your friend Franco Mastantuono. I don't know if you've seen this. This is probably the best story Chelsea have had in a long time.
Branco Wisdom says Spain actually discovered South America.
Okay.
During the colonial period.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I think that thank you very much, Branco Wisdom, for that insights on it, because a very, very good one. Rich, this is the best news Chelsea have had. I think the last season, I brought Chelsea top players in the and someone go for break and they say PSR never Chelsea. So about 2-3 days ago, what we've heard from England for, they say, and sa Chelsea for no more tomo hotel at the ama or feeder club, or tomo Martin ama feeder club no. They decided to close that loophole. Loophole na third ball in the Baghdad the ball in the buy which Premier League for 90 men close. And as it stands now, that loophole holds. Just from the Athletic a graph of Premier League teams as you see, okay. Now, Osha graph we are. Most Premier League clubs should be saved from PSL trouble this month. Projected maximum pre-tax losses allowable under Premier League PSL rules. The key, that is the green indication, is safe from the 2024-2025 PSL breach. Into one club, if you need a green one, or you okay. Club, I need a yellow. He should be fine or than Fiifi, and club or that red at risk. And I think that these things inform me in terms of transfers here in rich club and only problem be in terms of PSR Chelsea. It means that Chelsea will extra 300 million to either buy players. Some away. Chelsea let me out to players to the tune of 300 million and even bring in more salaries and they won't have any issue. Which is a very, very good thing for Chelsea for now. And nothing as Russia going into this transfer market, Chelsea co-player who they know that they can get some of the best players on the market to come because Omu was kind of and they don't have a problem. Same with Brighton and Hove Albion. Manchester City, they were starting 20 players now. Tottenham Hotspur, Manchester United, Tiaba 141. There is Arsenal at 97, West Ham 95, Crystal Palace 90, Nottingham Forest 85, Newcastle 83. I'm sure say Newcastle near Buanoha ever the possibility of the Champions League money. Fulham, Liverpool, Brentford, Wolverhampton Wanderers, Leeds United, Everton, and then of course Klaba, Aubrey, Nanka, Enya, Champions League and Quebec Buano, Aston Villa.
Two players.
Yeah. Rashford more salary near their day. It has really, really affected them. And then it looks as you say they have to find a way to sell. That is why I reach. There is no one available who will be able to keep our branch friend Marcus Rashford. They can't keep him. They can't even keep Marco Asensio. Asensio will go back to Paris Saint-Germain. Marcus Rashford will go back to Manchester United. Because our salary you can't pay, neither can you keep the player on your books to do anything. It was made official. Say Chelsea and you're proper number 9 almost. Traditional English number 9. The box name congested. Who here the person to do the job. And many a lot of messages. My boss, Frank, sending me message say fee number 9 here ye kwako pay a ekie here Osimhen. Frank Amedi na ya pay the day nkra we Delap money ade ade no. You see Chelsea plan they say they wanted a proper number 9. Say Chelsea betting here the deal for Victor Osimhen. Osimhen would have to make some truce. And so cut in you maybe. And Eddie man rich. What get 300,000 a week sir. For him to reduce it to 180, 150 no, it's going to be difficult. But rich, it would have been unheard of. Say boy we are a Premier League proven player. Now you turn for 30 million. 30 million. Now Chelsea Becker say on top and they will still waste time. I think that Chelsea will buy another striker in addition to Liam Delap, especially with Hugo Ekitike, who I think is only a dynamic forward. So Ekitike can play on the left and I say in the left half space, and then run off a branch of Liam Delap. Once Liam Delap becomes the proper number 9, Obejina Mono. Maybe I'm not worried about number 9 just in our channel. Yes, any good history. And baby, I mean, free, baby, I will free. We understand that. Anna, you can have some things to be a better, and you may be home. But Liam Delap say already he doesn't have a problem. Or Chelsea number 9, which I have an update for when we were TFO on Mike Mignon. We're leaking information to L'Equipe from Enan Humachiwe. Chelsea for one share that no information ma on media pro media for one say they will bid 10 million for him. I know that I get 10 million. And then I'll come and him 15 million, 18 million, oh baby, plus add-ons, they will take him. Rich, yes, it forced Maximiliano Allegri, who is now the new coach of team at your friend AC Milan, to pick up the phone and call Mike Mignon and then remember the French national team. You know. Rich, Allegri catch him and say, they have to keep him. Rich, you can be the coach, you want the player. But the finance for the AU book in it, no more BM, no more catch us a senior, you balance and balance. Boy, you jano for free. You need Champions League football. We need money to balance our books. The coach will be incapacitated.
Say no, catch off. Yeah, then I will try.
Allegri, Fred, Mike Mignon, convincing no. I can't for the book match and he say, we would have to take the money. And Udinia Chelsea for area AC Milan for rich. Omakache Milan said they are giving them up to the 15th of June. Club World Cup will start somewhere around the 16th of June. And then Utisadia, we want to make sure say you make this Frank about your friend Mike Mignon before the Club World Cup. Rich, and they've agreed personal terms with Mike. Okay. It Maximiano Allegri, Frank, Mike Mignon, tries to convince the boy has said no, he wants to move away from the club. Nisi cannot already have a form and some other things. He wants to make sure say Obenya a club where he can play football. Very, very good update for Chelsea for. I know say the man will go top. Don't worry, cry. You better up now. Of course, our brand friend Mike Mignon will get Champions League. And we'll be able to get some exciting stuff. Yeah.
China Nkremufu Sala Kese pa no. Nti ene no 2000 no. Kofi wie ya ye be cho ye che 20 million 5. Star 281 hash. Sika ye be che sika no. Twabi na ochina wonso anya sika de di Sala. Star 281 hash. Na choose option 2. Ukra telisa na MTN. Twabi yenko.
Icha AC Milan for pa wo best player na mu waton no ahe waton fian we. Na ni aka no 1 year on the contract. Best player. Which City midfield, we are very, very interested in it next season. Okay. Now, Yesimo Pesakurama.
Mbuemo.
Aye.
Oh, see,
Maria, for first bid, Monaco Manji. Oh, 45 plus 10.
Do this, Annie.
But who to scale go power? Mbuemo 45 plus 10. First bid. Mbuemo first bid, and 35 plus 5.
Hold on. And I'm a Cassimi Jobia. Oberfan is a media grow. Sabran TV. Yeah. Me, I know pay my friend, Alex Ferguson, a catcher. And I make catches and Buemo dim say dia is a man. Okay. Yibinyano. Okay. But among Wisan and Kaon.
Nanka Wisan Buemo Kunya.
See ya way. Yeah. In Buemo, Namunya Wisa, Namunya Kunya, in Kunya de Kahua. So Kunya Puriwaba. Onuka is heavy. Yeah. Bruno Chelsea, Bruno Fernandes better. One Man City, one Liverpool, one Arsenal. The best settings in the tell you for Agbina. And see, do you sound and Kakaka? Sometimes, wow, you said the hour. I rented on the market value. Until I made Charles 30. Also, Magic League. I don't pay. Oh, hold on. I'm going to be people. I'm in farming comedy. One outcome. Mate, Master Mechanical League. Okay, Miss me a Magic League. Miss say. Ano permanent fagi kasa na make a chance. On can't board no. So in Buemo the idea I'm see binyano. We a crocodile the don as a ben for no mu pay on beton, head on beton. Oh, woman here start catching. Enti ye did can go mind and so go for umbesum. And ye did can the 45. Plus 10. Add-ons will be the account. Almost a big account. Best the 5 be an art be at Sabren there. You see a comment in the mind. Now you know we are more for Wisan and count. And ye Wisana. Agbina. As a mutim in Afa. Complete him. Onana. Unma peke.
Me see Onana na.
Onana na dem.
Onana the same guy.
Now mebo me no na ogovan number where dey.
Oni Euro so.
Masa.
Onana Euro.
Ono odi Inter Milan. Onana na umu no. Odi Inter Milan ko final the UEFA Champions League.
Onana Maguire mo.
Man yo na dey no odi AC Milan ai. Onye hu.
Ogat so.
Asa Liam dia Delap ya mo ko fa ndabe. So also Jackson entimi nche goals a. Na ko fa upgrade ba so Liam Delap. O sa be man jersey number 9. Chelsea de mi hu team a chese. Se sika na mpesa mus na papa na obi no wan jaze.
Papa be ya.
Escafoni bu auto omfo Jackson ya ko fan be won timi che goals. Ko fa striker man me se obi be se striker. Ako Liam Delap.
Rich ba eno.
The enfer obi abna. France
share Spain me share ma Barcelona for ni nkomo bia bi.
France for ni dia.
Omo share Spain e mo mu ni nkomo bia bi.
Are
Ousmane Dembele is an share Spain. In the semi-finals of the club, friend saying Nations League. Already or the Lamine Yamal. Barca fully push it too much. Touching chin on say Lamine Yamal.
No.
Oh, there be Ousmane Dembele. Which Champions League they say OG.
I saw the Champions League.
No, but no, but they say OG. So OG ah, do. And I saw the major trophy, or the American major trophy. But this year, there isn't any other major trophy. Nations League is a real major trophy, sir. But so Ousmane Dembele sang the show. Echo final, was also going to name Club World Cup, your friend is saying Lamine Yamal, Ibanez, Nazrari, Omobi. The Club World Cup on count. And those are the two major trophies I call him. What the Champions League, no? So Sancho, the friend is a Nations League, which I don't even consider as a major trophy. Was also condemned so we consider
already go trouble that.
Why get trouble that? Club World Cup, those who mobi. If they allow the French people to win the game tonight, I reach. Hey, Ousmane. Maybe they can be too bad, Ousmane.
I don't pay no big can. Sarana, so be a Dinko Dembele bat. As a Kylian Mbappe, Yembuni Dinkra.
No, but because Ousmane Dembele in the French national team has won the Champions League.
I know.
Yeah, Mbappe was excellent. But the person will be projected for France will be Ousmane Dembele. Rich, we're really trophy for a French team. We're really for somebody.
Or German France team.
No matter how you look at it, Mbappe is seen in some eyes as a traitor. We're free France to go to Spain. Ono has come from Spain to come to France and he has given them their first ever Champions League. No matter what the French will put Ousmane Dembele. And in the French national team, now he's a starter. Starting possible lineups now, but Ousmane Dembele, we are here with a bit Desire Due and Charlie.
I'm on for national team. We have players now. I know I'm here Portugal now. We say Mini Abema, Rafaelia, and then Nam. Rafaelia, Rafaelia on that say, low key crown on the name of baby. Where is France anymore? Dembele, Mbappe, Diaz.
The only problem with France is just the midfield of Mino Kone, who is a good player, but Adrian Rabiot, who is aging. And they are going to play against the Spanish midfield.
Olise guy.
Olise, number 10, very excellent for them. They are playing against the Spanish midfield of Fabian Duri, Martin Ibanez, Zubimendi, and Pedri Gonzalez in Fiifi and Sawi. I'm expecting that Madrid should not, France should not go and try say Jibo on every Spain for instance. They should allow them have the ball. Then use the pace of an attackers. Of course, Lamine Yamal, Ibanez, Nazrari, Ebejineni Monum, Aye Jumana Honum, with our branch friend Danny Omo and Nico Williams. Very, very exciting. Fullbacks, no Marco Correa and Pedro Porro. On this side, it means that Theo Hernandez would have to deal with Lamine Yamal. Now, branch friend Pierre Kalulu would deal with Nico Williams or Honum. Kukurea and our branch friend Porro would deal with Ousmane Dembele and Desire Do. One a bit in your bois. Because so we Lamine Yamal, who here will fullback to help you. Kukurea most likely is going to deal with our branch friend Ousmane Dembele.
And again, now we'll be our front,
front three,
yeah. And they be decided.
Any fullbacks now?
Maybe who front train?
They say front train will come against the opposing fullbacks now. Until front train opposing fullbacks now look like they are going to decide a game.
Kofi, yeah, but Ballon d'Or come on. me no obi aya den say football na aye bono even abrabo kra aye boy is ekosi sen ball na aye boy ni na aye boy wie ni ekokosi sen
yeah
senya sa pa kofi me de for optics akora na e fa no Lamine Yamal ball na
optics be anywhere change Usman Dembele ba bono
oh kofi David
no Usman Dembele ball na bono optics be na change
kofi me say I mean say the alternative that you ball
I na Usman Dembele yes no
ball na akora na e fa no
senior
Lamine Yamal na ball
last year the na
moda Dembele size
last year the na moda
but football na kwa say ye bo wie na kosi sen anya sa me de nobody can convince me
say
so it's the Osman Dembele now Lamine Yamal now yes you proper baller
criteria na clear
and I mean can say na make say
criteria na
and no na my NTV cast
criteria na yes ball na say ohun ball individual performance ohun ball and ultimate can tell me say Usman Dembele ni ball ne ball
oni ball ba want to Lamine Yamal
but omu ina ni ball that's what the criteria say say ohun ball
ba no
do you take the box of unimbo and I not take it unimbo has it translated to club success
yes
what they are not translate here what you league Majimi League Maji Champions League unjibi meko isi so it's munya push na se PR doors basa for no and Dr. Augustine Fremi nyamba be coach nya we say fi my kaye and say don't push it it was man Dembele me sure pa
enfa de no man I am on for class we akoi onu mu French so you be sign on France
I French football
as we tell fu na tonko
I'm the one na dem rich so the French one you new come and coach kakra honom
okay
Eti Michelle, why is your coffee kesima? Your rollover no is still on.
Okay.
2 odds for 5 days. No, in a rollover. Let's start with no. And on a 1F345712. And a code for your rollover. No 1F345712. And a code for your rollover. No. Your 12 plus odds for Honor. And no, your 1F346.